You're probably a Canadian seller watching this video, and I promise I understand your reality. You source hours and hours, and you feel like 3 out of 4 brands are gated, but you see everybody on YouTube sourcing like they're ungated and everything. It's probably because you're doing reverse storefront stocking like all these YouTube gurus say to do. But today I have an alternative sourcing method that I've been using since the first day of my business, and I still use it to this day to find thousands of brands. My name is Anthony Mancini. I've sold 1.5 million on Amazon in the past 3 years, and I can guarantee that this video will help you find a new brand to sell in your storefront, even if you are a brand new Canadian seller. So make sure you watch the whole way through. It's very detailed, and we're going to go through literally everything about this method. All you need is Keepa and the optional seller amp if you want to have a little fancy calculator with you. Before we go in, I have a free school community you can join. It's going to be pinned in the comments. It's 100% free. We're going to do weekly calls, and we help each other out. So no more than that. Let's go right into the training. All right, we are on a very familiar website, Keepa.com. Everyone should probably already have this. But did you know that you can actually source with it? And I'm going to give you 2 strategies to source with Keepa today, and it's a 2-part series. So we're going to go to this data tab, and we're going to go to Product Finder. And both strategies are going to be found in here. And you can see I already have some filters already selected because I use this almost every single day. But the filters that we're going to use are going to change every single time. Keepa Product Finder as a base has every single ASIN in Amazon. So we just want to put filters, restrictions, so we can kind of cut off all the dead weight and have the best products for us in front of us. Now, this part 1 is how to find brands to sell. And then in part 2, which is in this video, it's going to be taking that brand and using Keepa Product Finder to find even more ASINs in that brand. All right. So let me go ahead and explain Keepa Product Finder a little bit, my methods for using this. And well, again, we're just putting in filters to try to eliminate as many brand products as possible. So seller rank is definitely something you can put, but in Canada, I find that depending on the category, it changes so much. I kind of leave it blank. I don't do that many filters. I just put enough to get our number down here, less than 50,000. If not, you're going to be checking all day. So I'm going to put our buy box a minimum of $25. Why I put minimum is because I found that underneath $25, it starts getting really hard to find profitable products with the Amazon fees. So I just find it's a no-brainer to put 25. You can actually even put even more depending on the category. For Amazon, I want it out of stock. We do not want to compete with Amazon. We're almost never going to win the buy box. And that's pretty much all that we're going to do in this section. And we're going to move on to the next section, which is title, category, and attributes. And I've already put electronics. This is the last place I looked. We'll go ahead and look again in that section. But this could be beauty, construction, home, doesn't matter. Your favorite place to source, you could go ahead and put it in here. This text field is actually where we're going to put our brand name later to go ahead and help us find more leads to sell. But first, we got to find a brand. So is there anything else I put? Yes, there is. At the bottom here, I'm going to put a minimum offer count of 3. I want to eliminate 1 or 2 because I want to eliminate private label sellers, people that own their own brand and they're the only sellers on there. We want to sell other brands that we don't own that are very recognized. So by putting these filters, we have around 27,000 products to check. We're going to go find products, but again, even that is too much. So we're going to filter once we're in here. Again, I'm not interested in reselling iPhones. I want to sell other things that are electronic. And my favorite thing to filter is bought in the past 30 days. And I'm going to click it twice to go get the lower numbers. Now, you might ask, why not look at the fastest volume products? But think about it. Certainly, you as a new seller, you don't want to go and get the fastest moving products. There's going to be too much competition. So let's focus on these products that move at least 50 times a month. And again, 1, for the video, and 2, because I have experience, I know what products don't sell well, guys. Products like iPhones and whatever the heck this is are not products that I'm looking for. I'm trying to scan here and look for interesting products that I believe is actually resold on Amazon. So if I come down here, like right away, there's a ton of stuff that I just don't want to look at. Like OtterBox, I already know from experience is not something I'm going to sell on a Lenovo either. So you're asking yourself, I'm almost all the way at the bottom of the page and I haven't found anything, but I would click the Kodak because I do know that Kodak is a reseller friendly brand. And this is all I have on the first page, but this is why we do this. And for you, you're probably going to be clicking every single one. And with time, you're going to get experience on what actually does sell and what doesn't. But we're trying to look, let me make my camera smaller so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. But we're trying to look for products that kind of sell on Amazon. And I'm clicking a few products that I believe my intuition tells me that I can potentially find, but it might not happen and we might have to move on. That's, again, completely fine. So this is like all I see on this page. It was 2 products. Let's do one more. Let's get 3 products to look at. And then after that, we can really head and move on. So Wi-Fi sometimes works. These guys I think I've seen before. So let's work with these three right now. And the next step, once you've selected all the products that you want to analyze, is it's easy as that. Like, you're going to go into the Keepa, you have your Keepa chart. Now, the only thing is you need to know if you are gated or not. So that's how we're going to use Seller Amp. And we're actually going to open up Amazon for all these. So the first product I clicked was Kodak, because again, I have sold this brand in the past. And as we can see, it's actually being sold for $300, $279. So it's almost more expensive than Amazon. So we can quickly eliminate this product. This one I am gated in. So when you're gated, it's very fast. You just move on to the next one. Looks like this we can sell, Ubiquiti, right? If I go on Google, it seems like $166 at Walmart. I don't know if this is the same product or not. And looks like Ubiquiti has their own store. So let's open up these two. We might actually already have found our winning product. So here, I know this is written in French, guys, because I come from Quebec, but this is a great example of, it's from Walmart, and this translates to sold and shipped by, not Walmart. So we want to avoid that. We want to only buy things from Walmart if we're buying on Walmart, because it's an Amazon marketplace. So let's actually go see the other website, and we can see similar products down here. This seems to be a Unify Express 7 Cloud Gateway. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to validate this product to see if this is actually the same one. All right, guys, it seems to be this product right here, which is $285. As we can see, it is way too expensive because our max cost was $201. But I really did like this brand. It seemed promising. They have their own website. So this is going to be an excellent opportunity to showcase Keepa product finders how to find a brand. So we're going to keep everything the same. But the only thing that we're going to do different is we're going to go down to the text field and we're going to add the brand name that I found. And we can see that there's 134 products. And I'm determined to find a product in here because we know it's ungated. It's very low key. People wouldn't think about this. So I'm sure we can find something. So let's go ahead and open up a few. I'll be right back. I opened up 5 ASINs that I found on the product finder, essentially all the ones that I had bought in the past 30 days. And we can already start reverse storefront stocking. It seems like we have one potentially at Best Buy on sale here. Let's move on. I'm going to open up every single one, which is very weird here. We see Amazon.ca selling a similar product that seems to be underneath. Sometimes it could come from legitimately Amazon. So we'll open up that and see if we can find that later. We have this one at $111. We need to find it at. Seems like Best Buy has some killer prices here. I don't know if there's a big sale going on. I'll also open up their website, see what's going on there. And I had one more product here that I want to open up for Google. So let's go back to the first ASIN we had, because we have Stable Keepa Chart. This is why I really like this brand here. Stable Keepa Chart sells 50 times per month. We're going to have a max cost of $16. If we go here, you see, this is the problem. Sold at $30.93. Obviously here, we're not going to be able to buy this at $30 for a profitable price. I must have mistakenly seen it at the beginning. We'll just eliminate that right away. We'll move on to the next one that actually looked promising too. This was the Amazon one being sold at $153. We just need to see. It's a U7 Pro. This one is a U7 Lite. So automatically, we can go ahead and eliminate this. This is live, guys. So as you can see, sourcing is not always the easiest thing in the world, but you just got to go through it. And eventually, you get better at it. And you can do, this is not the same product. So Best Buy was really finessing us since before. So here we actually had $23.99. Said this was actually the last one. So we have 29 here. Seems like there's POE, plus plus, and 3 pluses. Seems to be a double plus. On double plus, then we got to see if it's a 1G or a 10G. Doesn't seem to mention. I believe it's a 1G. So the price here is $29. If we go ahead and put it here, seems to be profitable at 41% ROI. And if we look at over here, Depot has it a little bit more expensive. So we are actually going to buy it from the website itself at $29. And it's going to sell here at a $12 profit. So just like that, you saw it with Keepa Product Finder. I go ahead and I found the brand that I was ungated in. And although ideally I would have found a profitable product right away, I found that the product was already close enough. I had found a brand name website. It was kind of low key. I don't think a lot of sellers kind of know. I didn't know what Ubiquiti was. And just like that, I was able to find ourselves a brand that will go ahead and print $12 profit every single time that this sells. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this lead potentially and sell it for this Q4. Hopefully you found some value in this Keepa product finder video. If you did find value, please join my free school community. It's going to be a link in the description, and don't forget to like and comment. All right, ciao.